Your kid has ADHD, and they're always snacking, even if it seems like they just ate, and they can't be hungry. So why are they always hungry? Or why are they always eating? Let's talk about it.
Brought to you by Goldie.
People with ADHD often struggle to understand when they're full or when they should stop eating because there's a lot of symptoms associated with ADHD that make that hard to control. One of those things is impulse control. A lot of times people with ADHD struggle to control those impulses, and one of those impulses might be to have your favorite snack. Another reason a child with ADHD or a person with ADHD might be binge eating or eating too much is because they're bored. ADHD people do get bored pretty often because there's not enough stimulation in certain environments. So what they do is they take that boredom and they end up feeding themselves. It's something for their hands to do. It's sensory input for their mouth, for their fingers, for their ears, even to hear those crunchy sounds of chips or something like that. And it stimulates the brain. So it becomes an activity when you're bored. Another reason a child with ADHD might struggle with overeating or eating randomly is because they have a lack of awareness of their body. Sometimes we aren't fully aware of if we're hungry or not, or maybe we're just thirsty instead. So misunderstanding some of those signs from our body and signals from our body can lead to some of that overeating with ADHD. One final reason that we have to touch on, of course, is if your child is on ADHD medication. A lot of these medications have side effects such as appetite suppression or occasionally binge eating as well. So if you are taking ADHD medication, this can be a side effect, and therefore you could even overeat or you could undereat as well. So what do you do to support your child who might be eating randomly or stuffing themselves full until they're sick? Well, there's a few different things that we can do. One of the best ways for children with ADHD or people with ADHD in general is eating on a routine, having somewhat of a set schedule for meals. We know how important routines are for people with ADHD, so associating meals with routines and having kind of a set time can allow your brain to recognize, okay, I know I'm supposed to eat now, I don't need to eat these snacks in an hour, and therefore you might get rid of some of that random binge eating throughout the day. Another important thing to recognize is the type of food you're eating. Somebody with ADHD who's overeating might need more satiating food in their diet to feel more full after eating those meals. While eating those satiating meals, it's also important to practice mindful eating. We want to emphasize eating slow at a regular pace. We want to emphasize chewing our food and tasting it and not rushing through that meal. Finally, another way to avoid some of this overeating or constant hunger is to find other outlets or activities that can distract the body from those temptations. We talked about how people with ADHD can get bored and sometimes relay that boredom into binge eating. Well, if instead of eating those snacks, maybe I went outside for a walk, I quickly forget that I was thinking about snacks. So it's important to find activities that your child enjoys that can be a healthy, positive outlet instead of eating those foods. If you found this video helpful, please drop us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out a lot. If we didn't give you enough information, leave a comment. We'll get back to you with more, as much as we can answer. If you want to learn more about Goldie, the tablet, or any more of our blog posts, head over to getgoldie.com. Thanks for tuning in.
Brought to you by Goldie.